Yes, people, welcome back to the Oniyaya with predictions of the Premier League for the 25-26 season. Yes, people, the Premier League is back. One of the most exciting leagues to watch is back. And you know the app, the Fantasy Premier League, it's also back. So we're going to be doing predictions on the app today, on the URL, straight on the computer, so you can follow along and, you can be interactive about it. So the Premier League is going to be so fun this year. A lot of the teams have spent a lot of money in the transfer window, especially the bigger clubs, and this is why I think we will see one of the best Premier League seasons we have seen in a very long time. I think we will also be able to see one of the many teams involved in a title race for a longer space this season, because a lot of the teams have quality that can cause a lot of harms teams. Now, I don't want to rant on too much about it, so I just want to jump straight into it. So, for me, the team who comes 20th straight away is Sunderland. Now, don't get me wrong, the teams that are getting relegated, for me, it doesn't really matter how they come. It's just the bottom three teams. And for me, Sunderland and Burnley are the first two, because I just don't think they have enough quality to stay up in the league. I don't think they have. Yes, Jacques is a good player and Scott Parker is a good manager, but that isn't enough for either team, for me personally, to think that they will stay up in the league. And as we've seen in the Premier League over the last couple seasons, most times the teams that come up, based on a few exceptions, based like Brentford, Brighton, the Leeds Uniteds, Wolves, these teams, Nottingham Forest, they stay up from relegation because they just happen to have a chance. But I don't see that happening with these two teams. Now, Wolves, for me, is also in a relegation battle, because Wolves have sold their best players in Aït-Nouri and Konya. Aït-Nouri and Konya are two of the best players in the Premier League. You can't suffice that deficit or that hit you get through quality with these two players by just bringing in a replacement just here and there. These players were so good, they probably are worth 4 or 5 players in terms of depth to what they brought and quality to what they brought to their team. So I feel like Wolves haven't strengthened enough for me in the window as yet for me to say, okay, they're going to get out of that battle. Now, another team that's probably going to be down there is, for me, Brentford. Now, Brentford have a structure that was put in place by Thomas Frank, yes. And I feel like that structure will stay at Brentford for a long period of time. I feel like that rock and roll football will stay there for forever. Unless they have a manager who's so much into his philosophy that he goes there and changes everything. But that is why I think Brentford stayed with the set-piece coach who worked with Thomas Frank, who can play a similar brand and style of football, because I feel like that's what Brentford likes. And the kind of football that they play at the moment, that we go on the field to just work hard and be better and work harder than the opponent, because that's what really they do. That Brentford had good structure, yes, but they didn't have as a strong structure as how hard they worked at the team off and on the ball together. Now, after Brentford, the other team will be, for me, Leeds United. Now, you might say, but isn't Leeds one of the teams that just came up in the league? So how come you're not, saying that Leeds is going to go down again? For me, why I think Leeds is going to be fine is, yes, they just signed Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? Also, they have a few players in Leeds United team that I can see like having helping them secure a spot and have a little bit more quality, I think, other than this Brentford team that is being left after the quality that has left Brentford. Because let's not forget Brentford had Embuemo, Christian Norgard, Wizza, all these players looking to leave and have already left Brentford. So, and they lose their whole coaching staff. So it's not like they're not in a massive transition period. Hence is why I feel like they might be in a relegation battle also with Leeds and the other three teams at the bottom of the table. Now after that, I had to feather up, who do I see and think will end up in that position after Brentford. And after Brentford and Leeds, the team for me is, and this might be crazy, but for me is Fulham. Now here's why. No, don't take this as no delusional. Yo, what is going on, man? Don't take this as no delusional. Like take this serious, people. Okay? Leeds, sorry, I'm so sorry about this. Fulham comes after Leeds. Now, Fulham, West Ham, for me, Nottingham Forest are going to be in this area because although these teams did well last season, and except for West Ham, I just don't think they have enough going on for them to. Yes, I don't think they're going to fight relegation, but in terms of compete for the places in which they did last year for Europe and all these other places, I don't think they are in they have the capacity to do that. Now, maybe Nottingham Forest might go on a good run again throughout the season. But for what I've seen, not only with them selling Ilanga and all these things, but just how I've seen them look over the preseason, it's not as exciting as what I thought it would have been this season. Now, Nuno has a way of doing really well with getting the best out of, not just say like, not average players, but good enough players. So, I can see him going on a good run within the season and having spurts of good runs with this team, especially with them bringing in Omari Hutchinson and still keeping a lot of the players that they had from last season, which I do believe Nottingham Forest just hit a level that they will never hit again. And that's why, for me, they're in that position. Now, after that, I'm putting. It's a tough one, eh? It's a call up between Bournemouth, for me, and Everton. Now, you know what? I'm going to put Bournemouth. Now, why I put Bournemouth here, right? So, we have Bournemouth in 12th. Why I have Bournemouth is, that's not bad for Bournemouth. But I feel last season, they had a really good season. They've lost this pivotal part of their defense in their two centre-backs. One to PSG and one to Real Madrid. So they're in a very tough position. Watching them over the preseason, they still look very dynamic. They still look like they are getting better and better as a team. They have Billing, who came back from Napoli, who could never get into the squad, and now he went to Napoli, won the Italian Cup, came back, and now he's a captain at Bournemouth. So that's another thing that kids should actually look at and realize that sometimes in life, it might not go the way you want, but at the end of the day, once you have your mind towards your goals, you can always achieve it. So Bournemouth, for me, is in 12, and It's just the mere fact that I think that they did well last season, but not well enough for me to think that they can replicate what they did again. In 11th place will be Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace is going to be playing in Europe this season. I don't think they have enough squad depth in order to deal with Europe and playing the Premier League. And also, what I don't think they have is if they don't have the capacity to compete on those fronts and still be very competitive if they lose Eze and Guy. Adam Wharton is class, but he can't. He's not Eze. Mateta is class, but he's not Eze. Eze and Mark Guy are two massive losses for Crystal Palace if they do lose them this window. And based on the rumors going around in the transfer window with Spurs, with Liverpool, it looks like they're probably gone. So Oliver Glasner is already claiming to the board that they need transfers and they only have 2 weeks left in the transfer window and they haven't done much to strengthen that squad who needs more squad depth. You know, if they lose Mateta, they're in a very bad place. You know, Nketiah is a good player and he probably could handle that level of the Conference League in Europe, no doubt, and score lots of goals. But overall, I don't think he can handle the Premier League game in, game out with his stature, the physicality and all that. And he never really learned how to play as a, you know, as a winger, so that defeats the purpose. But you know who, Nketiah, just for random, would be a good shout for like a Newcastle United. I just can't understand why a team like Newcastle wouldn't go after him. But then after that, I have Everton. Everton is the team that comes in 10th. Now, Jack Grealish going to Everton solves a lot of issues for Everton. It brings another dynamic to the team that a lot of people don't understand. Not only now do they have a solid ball carrier throughout the whole pitch, they have Jack Harrison, right? They have Dwight McNeil. They have now they have Jack Grealish behind Beto. That is a good team. You know, you have Njai. That attack is wicked. And I think they can make a push to try to get into a European place. But I just think that they will fall a bit short from a lot of the other teams left on the table. Because at the end of the day, the reason why these teams left from 9th go up is actually there is because I feel like these teams structurally are better, quality wise are better, and just for me will have a better season than Everton and the other teams below them. Everton, on the other hand, though, is in a good place with the stadium, with the club, now attracting really good players, quality players, and if they can keep doing that, I feel like the trajectory, especially with David Moyes, it would be really good for them. You know, if David Moyes can bring a European qualification at that stadium in the next 2 years and then win a trophy in the next 3, I think we should be knighting that man for the work he's done after he was fired by Manchester United. Now, after Everton, the team I have after Everton is Brighton. Now, Brighton comes in here at number 9. Possibly losing Carlos Baleba, who is one of their best players. Possibly just don't think that they lost Joao Pedro, one of their best attackers. And I feel like they're in a position now where they will play good football and they will fight for a European place to get into that conference league where they can have a chance to then use that to give those players they have with small monetary value, even more value to get bigger pay. Because imagine now if Belieber, Manchester United was going after Belieber after Brighton played Conference League final. That 100 million euros right now would be around 135 million euros. So we have to just be very careful with how we look about Brighton, because Brighton are in a period now where they understand that a lot of clubs are coming for their players. So they are going to push for some sort of European qualification this season. And to be fair, they deserve it. Like they have played in Europe in the last near past. So it's not like they're not can't play in Europe again, and they weren't too bad in Europe. So after Brighton, I would say the next team is Newcastle. Newcastle for me, or Aston Villa. Now both of these teams have not strengthened as much as I thought they would in the window. Now, between those two teams, whoever strengthens the most, I think will come 7th or 8th between that space. The reason why I think that also is they've lost quality, but they haven't brought in quality. Now, Aston Villa still have somewhat of the same squad from last season, which is why I think they need some more attacking players. But then now you have Newcastle, who's struggling to buy anyone in the window and has just bought a young centre back, has bought Ramsdale. They don't really have any top quality coming in the window, and now their best player wants to leave. So it's just a very sad place right now for Newcastle fans. But I think they'll come around the 8th or 7th area with them, or Aston Villa. So then now, looking at that, here is the top 6. Now, in 6th place, I have Spurs. I think Spurs will do good on the Thomas front. I think they have a chance where they can qualify in the top 6. But I also can see them, Newcastle and Aston Villa, those 3 teams right there, I can see them battling it out for 6, 7, and 8. I really can. It's Spurs are in a transition period. I don't think they will go far in the Champions League, which is why I think they will prioritize being good in the Premier League. And Thomas Frank will get them playing high intensity football, but I'm just not too sure if it's good enough for the top 6. In 5th place, I have Chelsea. Now people again, they say, boy, you want this delusional thing, you're just a fan. But Chelsea may come 5th, but win a domestic trophy. I don't think Chelsea goes this season trophyless. I think they win a trophy, but I just don't think it's the Premier League. They have really good young players and they have a good squad, but a lot of those players haven't, like, say, outshone the Premier League, or took it to, a lot of them are in the period of their career where now they can take that step in the league and be very efficient. You have Palmer, you have Caicedo, you have Enzo Fernandez, you have Reece James, Chalobah. These players are in, João Pedro, are in momentum and are in a period of their careers now where they have Premier League experience, and I feel like they can bring something to the team that can change it tremendously. Now, especially Palmer. If Palmer guts off and starts to go after these games, Chelsea can be in a very good place. And for me, it's going to be a these top five teams, which are the powerhead teams anyway, financially, I feel like they are going to have a long run with each other for the title. Now, maybe you can find teams like Manchester United slipping in when it gets further closer and closer to me. Maybe. But in my eyes, I think United will be very competitive this season. Now, who do I have coming forth? Honestly, it's been a tie-up for me between United and Arsenal for fourth and third. I think because Arsenal have just done it a few times coming second, and they have been there a few times, I'll give them the third over United. But I just don't think that Arsenal will win the league this season for just two reasons. One, Man City's gonna be too good. And two, I feel like Liverpool will be good, but not as good as people think, but they will be in the top four. Now, I honestly believe that the winner of the Premier League is going to be Man City next season. Man City, and then anyone can come in the other three spots between these four teams: Liverpool, Arsenal, United. But for me personally, I think these top five clubs here will be in a battle with each other, and then also not only that, but they will compete until around February, March, and then we will really see who's going to win the league. I don't think the league is going to be as easy as people think and how easy people think Liverpool is going to win the league. Personally, I think Man City might win the league, even if they're in a transitional period and they've brought in top players. Like, let's not forget, they've brought in some of the best players in each team they've been in. You know, Reinders from AC Milan was their best player. Shirky from Lyon was their best player. You have Aitnori was one of the world's best players. You know, they've brought in the best players. Be a link with Rodrigo is one of Real Madrid's best players. So they just have so many top players. But Rodrigo, let's not be kid ourselves, has been one of Real Madrid's best players over the last 5 years. So we are watching a dynasty build right in front of us again with City. But it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I'm also not saying Arsenal can't win the league, but I just don't see it happening. And I would like to see Arsenal not win the league. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would not like Arsenal to win the league. Out of every team in the Premier League, Arsenal fan base, look how they act when they come second. Imagine if they win, bro. Like, I just can't take the pressure from a lot of my friends, my brothers. Oh my God. I just can't. I love the club. I love a lot of the players at the club. But I can identify with a lot of players at the club. But I swear, man, just their fan base, no, I just can't deal with it. But yeah, this has been my top four right here for you. And you know, how many points do you think the league will get? I think we're getting to 86. 83 to 86. I think the winner will get around 86 points. Hopefully, let's see what happens. Right? So here we go. We have submitted. We're in the draw. Hopefully it goes the way we think. Now, let's look at the fantasy. Let's do our fantasy right now, baby. We said we're doing it, so we're doing it right now. So here we are on the fantasy. And we need to log in, right? So let's do all that. Sorry for all the mix-up. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the Premier League. You know, put in the comments what y'all like about the Premier League, and let me know what y'all think and who will win the Premier League. You know, who do y'all think has the best chance of winning Premier League. Do you agree with what I did? Um, are you? Oh, sorry. Do you agree with how I did it? Like, tell me, tell me what you think about the Premier League. Now, look at this. We are going to show you a bit of what's going on here and how we can do the fantasy. So let's start right away into this so we're not wasting any more time. So yeah, the Premier League, I'm actually really looking forward to playing fantasy. I haven't really got into it too much over the last season. You know, when life hits you, you start doing so many other things in life. You can't even really focus on these small things and enjoy these smaller things in life. But, you know, sometimes you really have to. But let's just go right into this. So, goalkeepers. Who are we looking for as goalkeepers? Personally, I'm gonna pick up. We're looking for a cheap goalkeeper, but somebody who's going to start and can pick us up clean sheets as well. So I I'd say my first one would probably be like man, you know what? You know what? I know who I'm going for right now. Here we are. I'm actually going. So we checked out all the goalkeepers. Okay, I know who we picking up now. We're gonna pick up. We should pick him up, eh? Him? Nah. Okay. I'm gonna pick up Sanchez because Sanchez is not a bad buy, and I feel like Chelsea can get me some nice clean sheets. And also probably pick me up. You know, when you have one goalkeeper, you don't really need another one for the price of something crazy. Raya will keep more in the league, so you know I'm just gonna pick up for Bruno. Now let's see now defenders. Now I'm big on just picking up. I'm usually big on just picking up like wing backs. So Matty Cash for sure is a must in your team. This guy scores goals all the time, gets assists all the time. Let's see who else you can look for. Let's look for a. Oh, you know who we need to get in our squad? Frimpong. You can come in for you can pick up that 6 for Trent. Now, I'm a guy that I like to bring in my forwards as well early. You know, I like to pick around my team. I just don't like to just look at all my defenders, all my midfielders. I like a balance, you know? So let's bring in a few midfielders. Now, I have to bring in. Now, you know, I can't leave out this guy, but he is a must in your team. Morgan Rogers, that is goals and assists all day, baby, all day. And Aston Villa is playing Brentford, and we already know Brentford isn't in the best period at the moment. So I'm looking forward to having him in my team. Also, another cheap midfielder I want to see if I can find. Let's look. Let me see if. Wow. Get this guy, people. he is also an assist merchant here. Let me show you. Mohamed Kudus. Get this guy. Kudus. Tottenham. Oh, Tottenham plays Man City. That might be a tough one. Haaland scores. Haaland scores. I see. Haaland scores. Haaland scores, man. Haaland scores. There's no stopping Erling Haaland. There's actually no stopping him. But I'm putting Ekitike in my team. Because I just feel like Ekitike, he'll score. You know, I can just see it happening. Who does Everton play? Everton plays Brighton. Yeah? Yo, Beto. Beto, I'm telling y'all, he's a good pickup. Beto. Yes. To have on your bench, good pickup. As a forward, brilliant pickup. Now we can spend some money on another forward, but I'm gonna jump into my midfield because I don't know if I who I want as my other forward yet. As my midfielder, I'm definitely putting these guys in my team. Embuemo, 1000%. Saka. Ooh, Saka, your big money buy. Saka. Whew. We might have to look out for you. You're not ready. Although you might get me goals and assists all year round. You know, you might be the assist merchant that I actually need in my team. But I'm picking up. Let's see how much Florian Wirtz is. Florian Wirtz. Florian. Ooh, that's a must in your team. Wirtz, must. Defenders again. Let me say something. Patrick Dogu. I'm picking up Patrick Dogu, must. Patrick Dogu is a must. Wirtz, Embuemo. Hey, this team look fire. We have 31.5 left in the bank, and we have 4 players available. So that's on average, we can average around 7 on average. 7.5 per player. Oh, that's not bad, bro. That's not bad, especially when they can pull in another cheap defender. Wow. Who else should we pull in as a cheap defender? You know, I'm really looking at Matson, but I'm just not quite sure he starts over Digny. You know, but Aston Villa, Brentford, Sunderland. Wow. Okay. Let's look for... Yo, let's see who Bournemouth have. Wolves or Semenyo? Semenyo might be another midfielder I need. Semenyo. Trust me when I tell y'all, Semenyo. 7.5. Oh, what a buy. Haaland. Hey. Haaland. Talk to me, Ailing. Wow. We're gonna get us a cheap defender while we do that. While we at this, we're chatting us a cheap defender here. Now, who should I pick up, boy? Assist merchants. We only deal with assist merchants. You know, it's about players who like to get up and down the pitch. You know, I would have gotten Kirkes, but Kirkes, I would have gotten Estupinian, but he's gone as well. You know, oh, this might be a big, big pickup. He is definitely getting into a lot of attacking positions. Cucurella. And last but not least, we need a 4.5 defender. That is easy to pick up. Because I want to pick up a really high class defender as well, but I don't know if I should get rid of Haaland. You know, there's other strikers in the league I feel like might just turn up in the league. But cause like a Joe Pedro, I feel like gonna score for Chelsea. Trust me, like I can just Haaland, boy, you have to go. Joe Pedro must come in this team. Yeah. And then Beto, let me get a nice defender again. Young. Hey, I'm bringing in a nice young defender that y'all don't even pay attention to. And when y'all see me bringing this defender, y'all say, wow. Ha ha ha. Spency. There's Spence. He have a big season for Tottenham. Although Tottenham play Man City, I can keep him on the bench, man. You know, this other defender as well, this left back for West Ham, Diouf. He might be a bit of a problem. Aaron Wan-Bissaka also is a good pickup. He might also be a problem. Pedro Porro, you know, he is a shot merchant. But, no, I think I'm happy with this team. You know, still have money to spend. Can still go into the window next week. You know, I think I can enter with this squad. This squad I'm happy with. You know, I can even get a better striker than Beto now. But I just feel like Beto will score goals. Like look at the next 3 games for Everton. I just feel like this is goals for Beto. You know, it's I just see it. I can just see it. Look at Newcastle. Oh, Ekitike might be on the score sheet for sure. As a forward though, let's check one more time for another forward. Let's look into the forward position. Let's look for the forwards. Hey y'all must be on the stream wondering what the fuck's going on, but we're just having fun, man. We're just running this fantasy, seeing who we can buy. Should be good. Bournemouth plays Wolves, Liverpool. Ooh, Evan Nilsson. You know, he has been a headache for a lot of teams. You know, I can, for some reason, Gyökeres really calling my name. Like, Gyökeres or Sesko, for something just telling me, bro, these guys are going to score. Let's see who Crystal Palace have. Who does the Palace have? Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I'm going with Mateta. Mateta. Come here. I'm putting your hands right here, bro. You do this. Crystal Palace have Chelsea. Yeah. Mateta. This is the team. So yes, people, this is my team. This is my fantasy team. I'm going to enter in the squad right now. What's the name we're calling it? Yeah, FC. Ha ha ha. What y'all know about that club? Oh, you better know. About that club. No, actually, you know, we're going to call it Chino FC. Yeah, Chino Falaci. Chino FC. Pick your team. Manchester United is my favorite club, of course. You know, enter your squad. And yes, people, we're entering our squad now. Yeah. Nah. We're just gonna generate a team badge. We're not doing too much. What is going on the screen here? This allow me to do me, the man. You know, the anyways, people, I don't know what's going on the page right now, but it's acting up. It's creating a badge here, and yeah, I accidentally press creator generator automatic badge. So here the pages. So we'll talk to you for a while. But yeah, this is why I picked this fantasy team, for just for you to have some fun. So we can just go around it together. No. It wants us to pick. Should we just pick one? Let's just pick one since we're here. Let's just pick one since we're here. No, it wants us to prompt this. We can't do all that. So yeah, we're gonna now change the formation. I think I'm playing a. I think I want to add another forward to this system. You know, I might drop Kudos for Joe Pedro. It has to be done. No, Kudos has to be dropped for Joe Pedro. It has to be done, bro. And Semenyo might need to come in for one. Can I substitute one of my defenders? Oh, you can play 3 in the back. Look here. Frimpong against Newcastle. Yeah, you can do your thing. Dogo against Fulham. Cucurella. Yeah, Semenyo. You know what? You get in here, and I'm going to drop Matty Cash. Sick. I ain't dropping anybody. Everybody here. I like my squad, and that's how I'm going to leave it. So yes, people, this has been my squad. This will be my squad for game week 2, apparently, because I did this a bit too late. But as you can tell, this is my team. I'm probably just going to join the league right now and just enjoy myself. But this has been the Premier League, the Fantasy Premier League, and a bit of, Premier League predictions. Just did my thing to let y'all know we're in it to win it, as always. And don't